up, bosses? Welcome back to the hottest show on the internet, The Truck Boss Show. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe to our channel and hit that bell notification so you're up to date with all the latest trucker news. Today, we've got a show jam-packed with fun and even some body slams for you. Here's what's coming up. What do Oklahoma head football coaches Bob Stoops, Lincoln Riley, and an Oklahoma Highway Patrol captain have in common? You'll see. And you won't want to miss a very family truck affair as we highlight a New York family's beautiful rigs. So, are you ready? Let's take a ride. Continuing our Ways to Stay Safe series, we sit down with Oklahoma Highway Patrol Captain Brian Orr, who talks to us about legal safety on the road for both rigs and four-wheelers. But you might know him for another reason also. Check this out.
Captain Brian Orr may look like your typical highway patrolman, but in Oklahoma, he's known for something a bit different. That's right, the body-slamming OHP captain himself was also the head of security for Oklahoma University football coaches Bob Stoops and Lincoln Riley for 16 years.
Bob would walk or jog real slowly out of the tunnel, and Lincoln sprints. So, I'd be back there stretching, don't want to pop a hamstring because I knew Lincoln was getting ready to take off, So,
oh my gosh.
It's like a couple of times, especially when we go through the smoke and stuff, I'll reach up and I'll grab Lincoln's shirt. Little tricks and things, but yeah, great working with both of them. They were super, super guys to work with.
This year, he hung up his hat as the bodyguard, but took us on a walk down memory lane.
On that particular day, OU was playing Iowa State, and it was toward the end of the game, and OU was very much in control of the game. The crowd was, you know how it is toward the end of the game. People were starting to leave. Well, there was a certain gentleman that decided it would be a good idea to go frolicking through the tulips on Owen Field, and you can't do that. So he was politely escorted off.
Oh, politely. Was it polite? Because I think it was a body slam, like a body suplex.
It was a nice way of hopefully no one else would want to get on Owen Field, or if they do, their head's going to be on a swivel looking around.
But today, Captain Brian Orr has a lot to say when it comes to semi-trucks and four-wheelers, giving us the best advice for everyone to stay safe. First up, give each other lots of space.
A fully loaded 18-wheeler is 20 times heavier than your normal car. Your normal car averages 4,000 pounds. You're looking at an 80,000-pound vehicle. People think that commercial motor vehicle can just stop just like a car does. It doesn't. On average, at 65 miles an hour, it takes a car the length of a football field, 300 feet, to get stopped at 65 miles an hour. Double that with a fully loaded commercial motor vehicle. 600 feet, 2 football fields for a vehicle to stop. So when cars are around them coming in and out, it's the worst thing you can do. And some of the advice that we give truck drivers and trucking companies is have cameras in your cars, and a lot of them do now. They'll have cameras that run all the time that truck's moving. Because we as investigators, when we show up to investigate these, of course you always got 2 sides of the story. And anytime a truck driver can tell you, hey, I've got this on video, and you see cars come around and literally will pull in front of a semi and slam on their brakes. Well, guess what? The truck's probably going to run into it. People have to understand these trucks, they don't operate like cars. So give them the space that they need.
The normal body reaction time is less than a second, and Captain Brian Orr says it's something everyone needs to remember.
Keep in mind the braking systems on trucks, most of them are air. We have some of them that are disc, but they're still generated by air. Well, there's a lag time on commercial motor vehicles. When you hit that, it takes that air. The air's got to travel down to engage those calipers for those brakes to work. So the normal perception reaction time is 1.6 seconds. For us to process it, for it to go through our brains to tell our body what to do, whether it's to steer out of the way, whether it's to apply brakes, 1.6 seconds. Then again, you take that lag time in braking. So you're up to, 2 seconds maybe? At 65 miles an hour, 2 seconds, you can travel a lot of distance. So again, it's those deals of trucks are different than cars. So people need to understand, treat these trucks with respect. They're not a car. They operate different.
And there are a few more points that are important to remember when you're riding in your rig out on the road.
You want to make sure that you've had enough rest, that you've had your medical exam done. God forbid that a driver has a heart attack or a seizure or something. you're required to do a pre and post trip inspection on those vehicles to make sure they're safe before you even pull them out of your driveway or of your place of business, checking the tires, checking the brakes, because that's our job, is safety. Our job is not to try to take money out of anybody's pocket. Our job on the highway patrol is to make sure everybody traveling on any roadway in Oklahoma is safe, whether you're in a four-wheeler car, whether you're in that 18-wheeler, we want you to be safe so everyone can get to where they need to go without having a problem.
At the end of the day, the Oklahoma Highway Patrolman Captain has a lot of respect for truck drivers and the trucking industry.
If you stopped every truck out here for one day, the United States would shut down, because without these drivers moving these products, we couldn't function.
Well, if you want to know how Captain Orr got so good at those tackles, the big man played football for the University of Central Oklahoma and says that tackle versus Iowa State was his chance to play in front of 85,000 people. Nikki, what you got for us?
Thanks, Brittany. You all know we love a good truck and family story. Well, here's Chris, our new addition to the team, with his debut on the Dirt and Asphalt Holland Noto family out of Milton, New York, showcasing their one-of-a-kind rigs. Check it out.
Meet John Noto, owner of John P Noto Trucking. He's a third-generation owner-operator out of Milton, New York, who hauls everything from dirt to asphalt. This family operation was started more than 20 years ago by his father, and now it's John's turn at the steering wheel.
I'm third generation. My grandfather on my mom's side was a trucker. My dad became a trucker when he joined the family. I've been in it since I was a little kid, and my dad just retired, so I took over the company.
But the real work was put into decking out this beautiful 1964 Mack that he built with his father in memory of his grandfather. And let's just say they did not cut any corners on this sweet rig.
It's a 1964 B61 that my dad and I built in 2008 in memory to my grandfather. That's my grandfather and my grandmother on the back. My son is the caretaker of it now. He's 14. He washes it, he polishes it, he drives it in and out of the truck shows. He takes care of it, it's his. This is a 74 900A. I built this in 2017. 16 I built it. It's a 74 on a 1995 chassis. It's channeled 5 inches over the cab is channeled 5 inches over the frame. That's why it looks so low. I built this one to see what I was gonna need for that one. And that's, the inside of that one is pretty nice.
Oh, cool, okay.
Yeah. It's kind of meant to be like a hot rod, real minimalistic. The way the switches are lined up, the gauges are clustered. Again, full custom interior, custom paint. Everything's it's completely hand built. Cool. This is my dad's retirement toy. It's a car hauler. He said every time we go to a truck show, we have no way to get a car there. So he said, I want to build something for a car. So him and I did this. Next year we'll pull it apart and do it properly, make it pretty. So this is a 1980 900A.
Okay.
It's got 130,000 original miles. The interior is like new.
Yeah.
This is the original interior. It's pretty wild that the owner took that good a care of it. That's original.
Oh, wow.
From 1980.
Yeah, that looks
It's really in phenomenal condition.
Yeah.
And all we did was clean it. We have a friend of ours that's a detailer, and he spent like 4 hours detailing it, and that's what it came out like. So we don't even need to do interior, which is kind of cool.
So who's going to carry the torch when the time comes for John to hand off the company? Well, they say that trucking's in your blood, and John's son, Charlie Noto, is no exception. His vision of the future includes revving down the open roads while carrying on the family name.
I'm a firm believer not everybody can be a doctor and lawyer. This company is where I'll stay, and the reason I say that, it's set up so well. I mean, it's like I said, it's 20 plus years now. To be honest with you, it's subcontractors is the way to go.
Yeah.
You know, you have somebody who works for you. You know, you don't take any money for yourself, but you get the job done. You take the money from the job, and there you go. And because of that, like I said, because it's set up like that, I'll probably just stay here.
Well, I guess it's true, Brittany. Families that truck together stay together.
I think it's true too. Those were beautiful, and they were so beautiful in person.
Yes, and
Loved
that
them.
family has been in business for a long time, and I love how the son, grew up seeing his father put in that amazing work ethic and show like, hey, this is how you be an entrepreneur. And I love the words that he said is, this is how, this is how it's done. And this business was put together so well that I can just walk right into it seamlessly, basically.
And how wise is he?
14 years old.
That's exactly
14.
what I was going to say. 14 years old.
Yeah.
He is so wise. He's going to grow up and be a great truck driver.
Yeah, I know.
Thank you
Kudos
for
to the
kids.
Noto family. Great
Yes.
story.
Well, let's talk about next week. We have a Coffee and Cars highlight. You guys won't want to miss this. It was so awesome. The 10th anniversary of Coffee and Cars, and there was a $5 million McLaren Speedtail. Crazy.
Yeah, those cars were beautiful, Brittany. I was jealous you got to get out there and go look at those. And then also our new boy Chris got to sit down with Rebecca Brewster from Actry on their new study on the young driver assessment tool. So that is going to be very interesting, and I'm very eager to see what Rebecca has to say about that.
Yes, really good information. And don't forget our podcast, Bosscast. We're dropping a new episode on Monday. You won't want to miss it. Super informative about the infrastructure bill. There's a lot of things that were taken out. There's a lot of things that were added. So we need to talk about it.
That's right. And then also make sure to go follow us, like us on Instagram and TikTok, because we do a lot of fun behind the scenes things that I think you'll like. I think you'll really like to check out the Truck Boss Show behind the scenes on there.
Yes, and also we're going to be doing some new fun stuff, new fun content specifically for Instagram.
That's right.
So check it out.
Yes, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, because we cannot do this without your support.
That's right. And why do we do this, Nikki?
Because you're the boss.